Okay, this is going to be a commentary of another one I don't have on file anymore. I don't have most on file, unfortunately. Of my Witcher Captain run, I think it's Deathwish with Axe and Falchion on Fort. Not actually a big fan of this weapon on Witcher Captain. I think this is a standard Flens build. Yeah, it probably is. Axe and Falchion is one of those weapons where no matter what attack, pattern, or combo you do, it is always absolutely high DPS, even with charge attacks, than with Flens than it is with Death Knell. At any headshot ratio. Except on Chaos Warriors. Chaos Warriors specifically. Maybe Berserkers, but probably even then. It's probably still high DPS with Flens. So I'm just kind of going through this area, killing specials as they pop up. Did this with some decent graphical settings, so it looks nice. Over time, as I've gotten more used to it, I think I'm probably playing this too fast after lower the quality. Good old Aussie internet. I've raised my graphical settings. There varies. I like keeping it quite clean and simple with Rapier. It's very important being able to see things. The reason I don't like, oh, and I'm just moving over here to deal with the Horde, like, I really don't know how to handle this part of Fort Brachsenbrücke, whatever you pronounce it. Bacon Burger. I prefer Fervency with Axe and Falchion and True Solo. Unending Hunt is better DPS, but getting the, especially on Deathwish, True Solo, getting the heavies under pressure is pretty difficult with Deathwish. Maybe not so much without it, but even then I don't know. But you can just do light attacks with Fervency. You can still do light attacks with Unending, it's just, I mean, kind of Like, it's not that fast. I just don't... Axe and Falchion feels kind of inferior on Deathwish. Say Rapier. Without Deathwish, it's very comparable because they exchange just that speed and such, and better cleave ratio. Safety for some stagger, which makes it really quite good at elites. But on Deathwish, it's kind of... because you're not getting that stagger anymore. And the DPS isn't actually better. I think it's actually worse. It's got some better breakpoint game, but that's it. I'm just DPing the boss here. I'm not sure if I do it too effectively. Like, I should have used a potion and a bomb. And I get blocked off by the fire a lot. I think I'm using 10 HP on crit headshot, we'll see. Using my ult just to get some more damage. For Axe and Falchion, you want to do 2 heavies, light for optimal single target DPS when you're not fighting an enemy you're going to kill with breakpoints. So that's mainly high health enemies like Maulers, bosses, Chaos Warriors. I think I'm not sure if you can do this with Lens, but with Death Knell I think you could do like heavy light if you headshot on like a Storm Vermin that's been tagged. Against Hordes you want to do 3 light block cancel to avoid the last. It just gives you more Falchion, better ratio of Falchion attacks, which is better for Hordes because the axes obviously don't cleave. I'm staying over here, but it's a bit dangerous because the fire could knock me off, so I end up moving, especially because of the Packmaster. And I move over here. I keep going, I just keep hiding. Because this is a weapon that's not going to hold terribly well. I heal because I'm just really not confident with this weapon at all. Fun fact, it actually has the same cleave as Rapier, except on the push attack. So every attack, including the follow-up attacks and the push attack combo, is the same cleave as Rapier, but just slower. So like it's not great defensively on Deathwish at all. On Zealot this is fine, because Zealot has power that makes it cleave. But on Witcher Captain, it works better with Castaway than Charm Life generally, but I wanted to use Charm Life this time because in a non-Deathwish one I did on Witcher Captain on Fort, I did it with Castaway already. That was without Deathwish, but still, I wanted to try this. It has good synergy with Charm Life, it's just, yeah. I think it's really good on Zealot, not so good on Witcher Captain. It's still decent. Like, it's still perfectly serviceable. And good damage for sure. And it does have better body shot, like sustained body shot damage. Except on Berserkers. That's because Rapier has like full Berserker damage. Yeah, each weapon has a damage profile, so like a weapon can do, let's say, like 20 damage to infantry base, and then it will do 15 to a berserker, 10 to a chaos warrior. And it may also do different damage to normal armor, like a storm vermin, that it does to a chaos warrior, like rapier does, but most do the same. Something like rapier does the same, like it doesn't have any, like, it does 4 damage to berserkers. So even on body shot, because its base damage is actually fairly high. I came down, I'm not really talking about the run enough, am I? I came up here, and then came down here because I wanted to fight here. I wanted to actually make some progress. The boss fight took forever. Especially considering it was a Stormfiend, and I could do a lot of damage to it. Some healing here, which is good. I end up using a lot of healing in this run, because it's just very easy to take damage with this weapon. It's not too much reach either. And the damage, I guess, like, because of the body shot damage, it feels kind of easier sometimes, especially in a team, but I mean, it takes a fair bit of skill to survive with this thing sometimes. It's just easy, it just takes so much damage. This is a little cheese spot you can do to get them to keep coming up and down. Through that window there. Didn't need to melee. I mean, shoot that. Could've just meleeed it. Sorry, it's hard for me to talk about the run at the same time and then talk about all these other things because I'm speeding it up too, but I just want to keep it relatively fast since I'm not skipping ahead too much. I'm just going to skip ahead actually. There's really nothing there. It's like, yeah, you kill things quickly. I just do that because, yeah, may as well. Though, unfortunately, I actually should have waited. I still get some use out of it, but not as much as I could have. You can go down in that area. It's a bit weird to kite in. It's kind of funny that the place even exists because it's not used in 90% of runs. So yeah, 3 light block cancel, and then mixing push attacks, trying to conserve my stamina. Just shooting the hook route because I don't want to deal with it in that situation. I could get interrupted, especially with Axe and Fashion speed, on which I kept not being insane or anything. It's not like amazing. Just Vermintide there because there's some storm vermin and I just want to like kill them to death. Or light spam them. I heal again because I'm at one shottable point there. You can get away with healing in some ridiculous scenarios because look, they're just not even attacking me. That's not even a CPU thing, they just don't do it sometimes. They like to kind of wait. I don't know if it's got to do with the slot system or not, but this is a good place to hold out, here in the left as well. The Plague Monks could be dangerous for me, but fortunately I just have enough damage. Yeah, I think this... Oh, I'm not sure actually, this might be cleave. Yeah, it looks like cleave. Oh wait, actually it's... Oh, sometimes I'm not. Yeah, I think it is. Headshot, yep. Interesting thing to notice, running high graphic settings can actually reduce recording file sizes, specifically because the things end up being more blurred, essentially. There's actually less detail and things end up just being pitch black, depending on how high quality the recording is. So there's this static detail and such, and graying I guess as well. At least that's my theory anyway, I just noticed it a while back and that's cool. It definitely makes sense with depth of field anyway. Don't really like fighting in this area, and I don't like this map in general, but... I'm going to end up going back to that area I was just in, that cave. It's quite good to fight in, like you can get messed up by gas and such, but it's good against specials, and it's got some slot manipulation abuse just at the end of it, or right at the back, where basically only a few of the enemies can fight you at a time. You have no room to move, but that's okay. Not too great of this build because it doesn't have the best stamina game, but as Witch on Captain you still have Eternal Guard, so it's not too bad. Oh, something to note, especially with Rapier, this is the case, and with just Witch Hunt Captain in general, I always run max crit chance and attack speed. The crit chance and everything, it's not for insta-kills for me, I guess. I don't really like to insta-kills. It's actually just for swift slaying uptime. I just like the attack speed. It's also good for DPS, and I'm pretty sure that's why most people do it, but in my case, I just like the attack speed. If it wasn't for that, I would probably run minimum crit chance, except on range. Just because I don't really like the cheesiness of it. The light spam. I really think they should just change the insta-killing with any attack to be just a damage increase. So that you would like either work with breakpoints or charge attacks and stuff and be working on aggregate damage. You could still one-shot a lot of things, it's just it would be a bit more risky and you'd actually have to use charge attacks and sneak them in and be pretty cool, I think. That's just my opinion. I don't think I get a boss here. Yeah, I think this is another run where I don't get bosses. Get a lot of those, eh? Those are the ones that tend to, well, win. Or Stormfiend patrol. Avoid them. Get the Blightstormer. See, again, it's hard for me to talk about this because I don't really know what I did right. Because this is kind of... I mean, I don't feel like I could just do this again, right, consistently. I'm just getting away from the patrol there. Probably could have stayed over there on the other side, but I went past them, so I decided I've got to push hard now. Just spamming, because, yeah, the pack could have got me. I'm going to keep pushing because I don't want to accidentally trigger the patrol. I want that ammo, so I fight them here. Or do I? Do I just keep pushing? Yeah, I wanted the ammo, but I ended up having to keep pushing. Well, for DPS, I've got another horde coming. I could die very easily here. Fortunately, I get out and I've got my ult. Can't see much right now. The Warp 5 throw there, again showing another example on Deathwish where they just stagger everything way too much. And like, they don't do that much damage, especially if you have Bark Skin. It's only really if you stand in the fire part that's on the ground. I'm not exactly sure how that works. If the flame itself can do damage, and the thing they leave on the ground is another source of damage, or if the thing on the ground is the only thing that does damage. I'll have to test that at some point. Something to note is, as far as headshot damage goes, Axe and Falchion scales decently, particularly on the Falchion attacks with something like Deathwish, but the Axe attacks don't. They don't scale well for headshots at all. Quite poorly. Or like, acceptably I guess, but it's like barely worth it. It's one of those cases where, like, it's because, I don't know why they made it a headshot bonus instead of just making a, like a 20 or 30% damage increase. To make it scale equally with all of Witch Hunt Captain's weapons. Because like if you want to headshot with Greatsword and like do some good damage with that, why can't you be like finesse Greatsword person or whatever? Like, it's just limiting. I'm moving back here because I don't want to fight the Horde in that little tight space there with Axe and Falchion. Even though it's just Scave and I'm just not confident. This does cost me time though. I'm going over here just to check if there's anything there. And in this case there is. I just use the speed pot and keep the conk. The concentration is much more useful to me. And the speed pot will help my DPS. No, not too much because I just didn't get much density. Now I'm getting the Chaos Wave. I mixed more push attacks in with Chaos. But I need the extra cleave, because the push attack, you only cleave a Marauder if it's staggered and with the push attack. I'm not exactly sure what the optimal move tech with Axe and Fashion is, but I'm going to assume it's some kind of combination of the push attack and then L1, L2 block cancel. Oh, push attack, light attack, block cancel, L1, L2 block, and then push attack. Or doing the push attack and light as much as you can, depending on your stamina. The Stormfiend just is quite a lot. They have this running attack where they do a stab, and it's very misleading because it's the exact same hitbox as their running sweep. I don't know why they added that animation. They could have just kept it as a sweep. Most elites only have like 1 or 2, I guess. Ideally, it would just be a more narrow hitbox. Maybe with more reach or something. But it means like you often can't really tell what you're getting hit by when you're fighting a bunch of storm vermin, and it makes them feel really dangerous. And they are, really, if you're not staggering them. Unless you have like AoE DPS and you can just do it at range or something. Because it will look like you dodged the attack. But the hitbox, it's just so big that no, it doesn't count. Oh, if you pull the lever all the way back, at the second Grim, you get some bombs there at the left there, just in the tower. I'll go back to show. Yeah, just to the left from here, that door, you get bombs there. I'm now going to actually start the event. I was going around just clearing everything to make it as easy for me as possible, and I know I'm going to have to do quite a heavy kite potentially, so I didn't want anything to be in my way. I was messing up the jump there, but I also decided I wanted to come down here and find a heal. I think that medical supply there is guaranteed. Now I'm starting the event. This goes on for a while. Yeah. So I'm just showing my build, so I don't have to do it later. Because it's a calm situation, I don't have no temp decay. Here we go. I'll speed this up even a bit more because, I mean, it's just a lot of the same stuff. Actually, I'll keep it slow for the first part, but just to show what I'm doing. But after that, I'll speed it up because, like, I'm just doing the same stuff over and over again. I might skip some parts too. So I moved down here. I'm pretty comfortable fighting here. I did do this once before and I ended up dying here. It's real sad. Axe Fashion's temp generation with both cleave and headshot. It's actually just not that great in Witch on Captain. It just doesn't cleave too much, and it's worse cleave efficiency than Rapier, because Rapier is just faster with virtually the same cleave except in the push attack. And it doesn't have any, you know, light axe attacks mixed in. And for crit headshot, Axe Fashion's heavies are better, but its lights are worse because they're slower. So I did this kite loop here, where I was basically, because I can't really fight the enemies head on. So go into a bit more detail about that. I come down here and then I come up here again. I just can't really afford to fight things. I don't want to use my stamina doing push attacks just so I can hit the storm vermin safely. So I'm kind of getting them to climb and hitting them there, then I come down again. Just trying to thin out the wave. Lucky I didn't get pushed there. Now I'm coming over here to get them into a tunnel. I'm basically kind of just biding time for my ult. Because unlike Rapier, it's just not that fast and you can't really do charge attacks and such. Well, under that much pressure on your own. Getting another wave here, that's unfortunate. Take a hit, I may heal, we'll see. I'm a big fan of preemptively healing. Yeah. I was thinking about not healing, but then I ended up deciding to when I saw the elite. This is a nice little jump, or fall, sorry, you can do. To just cut them off for a bit. I ult and then just spam some lights, that's normal. I don't get the Mauler, which is a shame. Got hit there again, it's very easy to get hit. Like, Exafashion's kind of weird because it's like it's a DPS weapon, but it's not actually a high DPS than Rapier. It's less safe, and it's also lower DPS. It's just a stagger, really, and body shot damage. I mean, the stagger is good, like, without Deathwish though. So that's probably why, because I play with Deathwish so much, I'm just not really valuing that. Especially on someone like Zilla, that's probably like crazily, absurdly safe at that point. Because you just chain stagger elites with those axe attacks. Maybe even the Falchion attacks. Again, I'm just pulling back to fight things over here in a safe area, getting them to drawing them over here, as opposed to being surrounded at the cannon. You can also just do a full circle kite here, where you keep going around, and the entire arena, and just getting a little bit of progress on the cannon, and then moving forward again. I'm doing it a bit differently, but you can do that way. Trying to get as much as I can. Just gonna speed this up now. It's all pretty much the same stuff. Not too many elites that time. I just forgot the guy was there, or I didn't see them. Getting more maulers, so I'm going to move over here again, and yada yada yada. Might just skip ahead now. It really is just all the same. Until I get to the cannon, I guess that would probably be when the cannonball spawns on the other side. Okay, I'll go back a little bit. Sorry, Aussie internet. I guess I didn't really save any time. Oh, I guess I saved a bit. So yeah, I just go over here, I'm just going to go straight to the cannonball. I probably should have done a little jump there, actually. I messed that jump up too, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to go the long way. It's quite a fair bit on me right now. Probably going to throw the cannonball down and then... Oh no, I'm favoriting first. Oh, glad I didn't... They could have dropped down that little corner there. I'm going to DPS now, because the cannon's balls in bad spots, so I can't just keep pushing. And it's not too much, so I can just kill it all. So I get more. But you need to practice my headshots with X and Falchion. Missed that throw up, unfortunately. I use a bomb because I'm not confident and I just want to get this stuff killed. So, you know, so close to finishing this. It's like, it's good damage, but it's often kind of just more damage than you really need. And again, it's not actually high DPS than Rapier at a high headshot ratio. Percentage. And yep, just skip. That's the end of that run. I may or may not show my builds. Doesn't really matter. Alright, there we go.